Well, James, my first show of 2026, our first Dynamite coverage of 2026, and I'm sick.
Yep.
At least the wrestling was good.
A lot of it, too.
All right, let's start the show.
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Hey, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Mark It Down podcast. My name is Nick Cummings, joined this week by James Asante, back after our holiday hiatus to review AEW Dynamite. Now,
I missed you, man.
I missed you too, dude. We missed a lot of stuff between, I think the last thing we covered was Holiday Bash, and tonight, a lot of title changes. Shout out Willow. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about it as we go through everything. But we will start tonight with our main event of the evening, which saw Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland finally teaming up to face off against Opps members Hook and Powerhouse Hobbs in a lights-out match. Now, to start this match, James, obviously the lights go down, they come back on, and then people get introduced. Apparently that threw the system off a little bit.
There was a lot of flickering. I wasn't sure if it was finally it for me. I wasn't sure if my synapses were just all firing, but I'm not crazy. It was a lot of flickering, right?
Yeah, so apparently, I guess it happened when the lights went down and came back up. There was a small glitch in the system, it appeared. And as you said, James, the lights flickered, and then they stayed off, at least at the very start of the match. And they were off for a little bit, and AEW did their best with some spotlights, and luckily they were able to get the lights back on a few minutes in. Now, I was very concerned that this was Tony Khan trying out something new for a quote-unquote
I got nervous too.
match.
Yeah, I got nervous too.
And either that is the case, and he Mina Shirakawa it and immediately ditched it because it looked terrible, or something actually happened with the lights. Either way, they thankfully came back on a few minutes in. Some quick notes throughout the match. Powerhouse Hobbs was the one who got the staple gun to the dick this time. You knew it was going to happen. It's basically like a spot that has to happen now in these matches.
Don't worry, Hook got some too.
Yeah, Hook got quite a few. First time I think he's taken those, at least that I can remember. And he did not like them.
Can we just kayfabe it for a second? Just for a second. If you're Taz, you got to be disappointed in your son and how he handled the hardcore aspects of the match, right?
Some of them, yeah. He was much more of a, I will say, coward, chicken shit heel than he had been in previous hardcore matches, especially considering at the start of the match, Excalibur had mentioned that I think all three men had been in lights out matches before, and Hook had not, but he had the experience of being the FTW champion and had been in quite a few of those matches. So we thought he'd be used to it, but he definitely played chicken shit heel. He avoided quite a few hardcore spots throughout the night, or at least attempted to.
Straight up screamed when he was getting stapled.
Yeah, and I liked it.
It serves him well. It serves him very well, but Taz.
I weirdly enjoyed that character aspect. But again, maybe it seemed almost a little out of character what we have seen previously. From Hook, but in this current iteration, I kind of like it. We also had Swerve and Hangman bring out a pallet of cinder blocks out from underneath the ring and bring them into it. Now, they had a little trouble with the apron, but they were able to get there.
I was having PTSD. I really thought a glorious man was going to come when I saw those cinder blocks. I don't know why. Like, I shouldn't keep doing this to myself, but, oh, God, that's all I could think of.
It would be great to see him, and I know a lot of people have been talking about that, but I don't know, he'll show up when he wants to show up. Anyway, that eventually led to a nice back and forth between Hobbs and Swerve of them trying to get the other onto the cinder blocks, and it ended with Hobbs getting the better of that and hitting a world's strongest slam onto Swerve into the blocks. Shortly after that, Hangman came into the ring. He broke up the pin there and it looked like he was getting on a bit of a roll, but then members of the Opps JoJo, including fake-ass Draco Malfoy, I stole that from somebody online.
He really did. He was giving off Malfoy vibes, though, so good pickup.
They came down to attack Hangman. That led to Hangman and Swerve getting their chain wrapped around their necks, and it seemed like Hobbs was going to attempt to hang both of them over the ropes. But Prince Nana, who had already taken a spot in this match where he got crunched in the corner with a chair by Hobbs, came back up onto the apron for the distraction and threw his coffee into Hobbs's eyes, and that led to Hangman and Swerve being able to get out of the chain, although they briefly attacked everybody in the chain, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But then Hangman kind of flipped his way out of it. And as they were taking out the dojo, Hook went to the outside and gave Nana a suplex for his troubles.
You got to respect Nana, right?
Yeah.
Like, my man put his body on the line for them.
He is incredibly loyal to Swerve. And while he doesn't want to put his body on the line, he knows when he has to. And
No, absolutely. And speaking of loyal, he is loyal to a certain dance routine that I think we can agree probably needs to be updated with the new entrance music, right?
A little bit, but it's
He's
so
doing
over.
He's doing the same dance. Like, it doesn't even match the song.
Yeah, I think he just has to fit the beat better.
I don't know that you can. Like,
this part doesn't work as well. I think this one you can alter it where it'll hit the beat.
I suppose. I have faith in this man to come up with something new. I think he's got to pull the trigger.
Fair enough. Anyway, after the two men escaped their chain, Hook then accidentally got taken out by Hobbs as he tried to attack Hangman on the apron because Hook was celebrating taking out Nana. Hangman was going to attack him, and then Hangman ducked Hobbs' attack, and Hobbs knocked him off the apron. That led to Hangman attempting a buckshot lariat, but Hobbs countered with a massive spine buster. God, I love his spine buster.
Oh, yeah.
And then Swerve broke up that pin with a house call. Swerve then went up top, and it looked like he was going to hit a Swerve stomp onto Hobbs, but instead he decided to hang a left, and he hit it onto the Opps dojo on the outside. Then Page got up, and he took a very staggered Hobbs over to the cinder blocks where he set him up for a deadeye, and then Swerve quickly got up to the top ropes, and they hit a Swerve stomp deadeye combo onto the cinder blocks and effectively murdered Powerhouse Hobbs. Hook then gets back in, and he actually gets in a red rum very briefly onto Hangman, but Hangman just slams him into the corner, and then Hook gets his shit kicked in, and he is finished off by getting hit with a house call while a chain is wrapped around his neck, and then Hangman hit a buckshot lariat, and then Hangman took that chain, wrapped it back around Hook's neck, and tossed him over the ropes and hanged Hook until he was forced to tap out. As we say, hello, do you know it? Happy New Year, dude. A belated Happy New Year to you and everybody watching here tonight.
I think you could keep saying New Year, Happy New Year up until like the 21st. I think you've got like half the month of January to say Happy New Year.
That's a lot. I'll give you Martin Luther King Day.
I'll take it.
Yeah, because even then I think that's a little far because we're almost a week in, so 6 days.
I mean, it's relative. Like happy, like it is a new year, 15th. You know it.
It's around MLK Day.
Yeah, it's a new year for like you're in like the freshness of the year for I'd say the first quarter. Q1 is still like a new year,
I guess, but I don't know. I usually don't say it after we hit Little Christmas. Personally,
I've been dropping it all week. Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Happy New Year.
Yeah, belated Happy New Year for me. But New Year's aside, James, it was a good lights out match. I mean, it wasn't as violent as some of the ones we've seen in the past, obviously, but I thought it was creative. I thought the usage of the cinder blocks was cool. Yeah, and honestly, I thought Nana was the MVP of this.
I'd agree about Nana. My issue with it wasn't my like or dislike of the match. I enjoyed the matchup well enough. I think my issue really stems from why was it a lights out match? Lights out matches are usually reserved for like the most heated of rivalries. And I know that Hangman and Swerve have legit beef with the Opps, with Joe, but this did not feel like it needed to be that. This could have been a street fight.
Yeah, I agree.
This could have just been a no DQ match. Like lights out should be we're going to war because we've done everything else there is. So I had a little bit of an issue, I guess, with it just being a lights out match. Otherwise, I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed watching the match. They're working themselves into an interesting situation where it's going to be hard to justify Hangman and Swerve not going for the tag titles.
Yeah.
They're winning. They've won a few matches together at this point. They're both so over that I'd be excited to see it. And, like, don't get me wrong. I don't know what's taking them so long with Cope and Christian, but I'm looking forward to it still. But with each day that passes, I'm less interested in that and more interested in Hangman and Swerve going for the tag titles.
So that was going to be my point. Where are Copeland and Christian? Now,
Yeah.
I think the reports were that Christian had a minor knee surgery, but the minor I'm putting in quotation marks because really we hadn't heard too much about it. We were all just assuming that it was because Copeland was off filming Percy Jackson, but that ended and we were all just like, okay, well, when are they coming back? And then we had heard that Christian had knee surgery. So they are in Canada in a couple. I don't know if it's next week, but in the next couple of weeks, I believe they're going to be up there. And then, or maybe it's a couple of months because Dynasty is in Canada. So I would think that they go for the tag titles against FTR there, possibly even win them. But I don't know. And I also agree with you. Like, it's going to be difficult for them to justify not putting these guys in the tag division at a certain point because you're right. They're far too over.
As it is, and we're going to talk about it, I guess, when we get to that segment later. But, like, we saw FTR come out and get involved in another segment and, like, sort of stake their claim, I guess, that they're going to be interested in another team. But even that just felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was very weird. So I don't know what's up with FTR. You're right. I think the Copeland and Christian thing is the real sticking point here. If they come back soon, like if they come back at Revolution and then they have that run through Canada and then they win the titles at Dynasty, that makes sense to me. But
we don't have our first AEW pay-per-view until March, right?
The next one is Revolution, which I think would be March.
That's crazy that we're going 2 months without a pay-per-view.
I think usually ends up happening around this time of year, though.
It just feels, considering the rest of the year is like every month, it does feel weird to start the year off without a pay-per-view for a couple of months.
Yeah, so Revolution is in LA on Sunday, March 15th. So we're back to Sundays as well. Awesome. I guess Tony really doesn't want to deal with the NFL playoffs and then the Super Bowl.
I get it, but I damn.
Yeah, no, it's a while, but if Copeland and Christian come back there, then Dynasty, again, is in Canada. I could tell you when that is. And
I'm going to say April.
Yeah, it's April 12th in Vancouver.
Yeah.
So with those couple of Dynamites and Collisions up in Canada before that, I think that would be the run that you have CNC go on before they win the tag titles off FTR. If they're back. If they're not, I'm with you. Wrap up the shit with the Opps and get the tag titles on Hangman and Swerve ASAP.
Beyond that aspect, I also don't really fully understand why Joe wasn't there tonight.
Like,
well, if you're having
he sent the dojo, but not only notable by his absence, but Shibata wasn't there either.
Shibata makes sense because Shibata was just in Japan for Wrestle Kingdom.
Ah, okay.
He was there to honor Tanahashi, so that doesn't surprise me too much. But Joe, especially with the stipulation that, like, all right, if these guys win, they're position, like commentary said it, like they're positioning themselves back for the world title with MJF. So if I'm Joe and I have this huge matchup that my team is a part of that I can get involved in because there's no rules and the implications if they win are huge, just felt weird that he didn't show up.
Yeah, very strange because you would think he would want to protect his spot. And which is something commentary mentioned, like, Hobbs and Hook are here to protect Joe's spot. It's like, well, why isn't Joe here to protect his own spot?
I completely agree. And that's sort of my issue with how this is played out, that we knew always with the Opps that Joe was the centerpiece, but I like that it never felt like he was necessarily their leader. And it's starting to feel like it's Joe and the Opps.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It was, yeah, when it was just the three of them first, with Hook and then with Hobbs, it was very much like Joe being a mentor, but it was like Hook was always his right hand. And then you're right, it was the three of them. Now this is let's back up Joe.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a switch. I don't mind it as much. And maybe when Joe's done running for the title and they're defending the trios titles, hopefully things change a bit more. But
yeah,
there's a little more equal ground. And that could also lead to, Joe being like, no, I'm the man around here. And he eventually gets pushed out. And we got face Joe again.
Joe.
Who knows? Joe. All right. Real quick from the cloth apron did have a botch. And they could not get the cinder blocks over it, which was pretty funny. Yeah. And who do I have in the college football game tomorrow? I was actually trying to look up which game is tomorrow. So tomorrow is Ole Miss against Miami. Tough call. I actually don't know. It's a real pick'em for me. I think Ole Miss might win, but it really depends on if Miami's defense can stop Trinidad Chambers. If they can, I think I got Miami. If he goes off, I got Ole Miss. But it should be a good one. Both those games should be really, really good.
You heard it here first, folks.
Speaking of football, Jim Ross was back tonight. Happy to see him. I'm glad he's doing better. I know he's been sick for a while, so good to see him. And then after his entrance, we went right into some things backstage with Renee as she was there reporting outside the trainer's office that JetSpeed had been attacked. So Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight had been injured in said attack, and they couldn't compete tonight with Jungle Jack Perry against the Demand.
Yep.
And then they, along with that carny piece of shit, Don Callis, come up to her and feign concern and feign not knowing what happened to those two guys.
Pure confusion.
Yes, with Renee implying that somebody probably took them up on the bounty the two of them had put on JetSpeed last week. Ricochet and Callis then disagree with her on what a bounty is until Renee pointed out that they literally just defined it. so they're like, yeah, okay, it was a bounty. And Don introduces the man who collected on that bounty. The debuting Jake something.
Jake Doyle.
Yes, which they are calling him Jake Doyle. But
what a grab. What a grab for AEW.
Yeah. For those of you who were TNA fans, he was indeed Jake something. And I just saw on Twitter the post, from Tony Khan that Jake Doyle is indeed all elite.
Good for him. Let me just real quick tangent on him. Jake something, now Jake Doyle, is an incredible hoss of a talent. He is a muscle man who can move fast and move strong. He was constantly getting over in TNA, but they never seem to know how to book him. And that's multiple booking teams. Whether it was Scott D'Amore or the new team with Silva and, just Anthem taking over, nobody really knew how to book him. They never strung up enough wins for him to matter. So I have been waiting for him to ascend. Quite frankly, I thought he was going the other way. I thought he was going to NXT. I was looking forward. I was just looking forward to him leaving TNA. And the fact that he's going to AEW, I'm super, super excited. He works, despite being a powerhouse, he works best against high-flying, fast talent. So him immediately jumping into a feud against JetSpeed, and he's got a history with Speedball Mike Bailey from TNA. Oh, this is going to be great. He's going to thrive.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And it appears they're teaming him up with Mark Davis, who also walked up to Don with Jake Doyle. That's going to take me a little while.
Yeah.
As well. And Don called them both animals and said that they're going to go kill somebody. And then all six men walked away to celebrate with Ricochet saying Doyle is buying as he's the man with the money.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you, with Doyle debuting, and it looks like he's going to be in this tag team with Davis and under the umbrella of the Don Callis family, how do you think he's a fit with Davis and with the family as a whole?
I think this is perfect. Both are bigger guys who work a fast-paced style. So they're going to complement each other, I think, very well. And we had said it from the moment Davis came back and got involved with the Don Callis family in any capacity. We were worried for him because we know he's very good, but he was very much at risk of being the Jannetty to Fletcher's Shawn.
Yeah.
And that, again, it's not a knock on Davis. It's just his partner shot up while he was gone. So I think putting him back in a tag team, and I think the Don Callis family needs a legitimate tag team in the family. Like them being two guys who are, if they're saying, you know what, these are the two that are going to be teaming up all the time, I think that's the smart way to go. I think for the family and for those two in particular, I think this is a huge win for all parties involved.
Yeah, I mean, they do have Roppongi Vice when Trent is healthy, but they have mostly been there to eat pins, you know, unfortunately.
And I love Trent. I do.
I heard he's a piece of shit in real life.
I mean, we always knew that. BTE, baby. He's just not around enough to rely on him. He's way, way too injury prone. And I love him. I would love for him to get a real push, but it's happened time and time and time again, as opposed to these two guys. Now, granted, Davis was a little injury prone too, but at least I have more faith in them right now to keep it going.
I think so as well. I know a little bit about Jay Something from the few times I've seen him on TNA. And like you said, he works a fast but powerful style, which I think is really cool. So I'm excited to see him with the family. And I honestly, just another good addition. Plus, you could also throw him around with Josh Alexander as well, as I'm sure they have plenty of history too. So a lot of stuff for him to do there. Should be good. As we say hello and happy New Year to Chris. Good to see you, dude. Hope you enjoyed all your holidays. Asking, how does Renee know when these things go down, and how bad does it make the other backstage reporters look? I think it's Renee is always assigned to Dynamite, and while sometimes like Lexi is there, Renee is backstage reporter A.
Yeah, she's the head backstage reporter.
Yeah, and but she's also like the Adam Schefter of AEW, as opposed to like Lexi is more your like Laura Rutledge doing sidelines.
Yeah.
And that's no knock, but that's just kind of how that works.
I mean, Laura Rutledge has been getting a lot of heat the last couple of weeks, I think. But
why? What'd she do? She's great.
It's stupid shit. It's people misconstruing so much.
Fuck them. She's amazing.
It's a thankless job. It's a thankless job. But regardless of all that, we're tangenting. I think my theory is that Renee is just the master manipulator behind the scenes. So, of course, she knew that there was nefarious things happening. She probably orchestrated it.
She put out the bounty?
Maybe. You never know. You never know with Renee. So that's all I got to say there.
Well, what thing said Roger Goodell is going to suspend Ricochet for Bountygate. So that would be pretty good. After that, we went into our first match of the evening, which saw Jon Moxley face off against my man, Shelton Benjamin, in an AEW Continental Championship Eliminator match. Oh, more football stuff. Miami Hurricanes 1 win away from the National Championship. All they have to do is beat Ole Miss tomorrow night, and the National Championship game is in Miami. I know that I was just talking about that a second ago, Chris. I really think it depends on how Miami can shut down Ole Miss's quarterback. So we'll see. Should be a good game, though. I'm very excited to watch. Anyway.
But before we get into the match with Mox and Shelton, did you notice the way a lot of people did? I noticed it too. Shelton looked very emotional coming down the ramp, and like some people noted that it seemed he was crying.
I did not.
Yeah, if you go back and check it, you could argue that theoretically maybe he poured water on himself, but it very much looked like he was crying, that he had water coming down his eyes, and he just had a face of, it looked like sadness. Nobody's been able to point it out, but nobody's been able to indicate why, but enough people have pointed it out on Twitter. Enough people have been able to, I think even Fightful kind of tweeted it. So I don't know what's going on there. I saw that because Shelton's from Minneapolis, maybe he's affected by what's going on there right now, but I don't know. Either way, I'm obviously wishing him the best. I hope everything's okay with him.
Yeah, I was just popping around on Reddit. I'm not seeing anything immediately, but Reddit's always weird because they don't necessarily put things in the title for spoiler purposes. So I will definitely have to look that up later. Hopefully whatever he's going through, he's okay.
I mean, he was able to perform at a top-notch rate.
Oh yeah, no, he had a great match. I did want to briefly touch upon the added rule for Continental Championship Eliminator matches, which is, James, that if you reach the time limit draw and you are the challenger, that means you are able to go on and then challenge for the title. And I was wondering your thoughts on that.
I like the concept of it. You okay? I like the concept of what they're doing, but I don't know how I feel about it. Feels like you're punishing the champion, because let's say they go to a draw in the title match, like that goes to the champion, right?
Yeah, champion's advantage.
So can you imagine if they did that 2 weeks in a row, that like the challenger, like they go to a draw, the challenger technically gets the win, but then the next week they go to a draw again, so the champion gets the win? Like, that would frustrate the shit out of me.
If I was the challenger, yeah. I mean, I guess booking wise, it would be kind of annoying, but like weirdly, I don't hate that idea.
Like, I think they're going to do that at some point. Like, the fact that they've implemented this stipulation, I wouldn't be sure. One, we are definitely going to get a draw one day leading to a title match.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then the follow-up, like the second notion of that, I'm sure might not be the first time or the second time, but I'm sure they will hit that concept too down the road. But I don't know. I like the idea of what they're going for. I'm not just sure that it makes super sense the way they're doing it. But anything to add more prestige to the Continental Championship, add a unique identity to the Continental Championship, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, that was the word I was going to use. It continues the uniqueness of the championship, because it's always a 20-minute time limit. Everyone's banned from ringside. There's all these different factors and stipulations to go with the title, including the fact that if you have it at the start of the C2, you have to, give it up in order to participate in the tournament, and then hopefully for you, win the title back. So
my concern moving forward is the international title, though, because we love that belt. We love that championship, and it is the workhorse. It historically has been the workhorse championship of AEW. And now we are back in a world where we not only have the Continental Championship, but the International Championship on top of the TNT Championship and the National Championship.
Yeah.
So I'm worried about the International Championship. The National Championship seems like they have an out-of-company plan, so I'm not too worried about it. And the TNT title is their legacy title. They're not going to get rid of it. So I'm not too worried about that either. But I really think the only reason they split up again, the international title and the Continental title, was they wanted Okada to walk into Wrestle Kingdom with a belt.
Not only probably, but possibly, but probably. I think that makes a lot of sense. I also think if you look at everybody who holds all of these titles right now, as you mentioned, Okada has the international, and then Moxley has the Continental, Briscoe has the TNT, and Ricochet has the national. Those are four pretty big stars in AEW.
Oh, 100%.
So at the moment, I don't really think anything's going to get lost in the shuffle too much. They'll definitely be on TV. Whether or not they're constantly defended is going to be a different story. But it looks like Briscoe, or I believe Briscoe, has a title match this Saturday. So titles will be defended, I think. And it'll be nice to have a variety of which one gets defended when and where. I do think that the one we're probably going to see get defended the least is, unfortunately, the international, because of who currently holds it. Yeah. But just the fact that Okada has that title really lends to the prestige it already had.
No, I agree. I think more than anything, I'm just glad they got rid of the undisputed title.
Yeah,
the unified title. I'm sorry, not even the unified title. It was just a dumb title name.
Yeah, I didn't really understand it either, when they did it. But somebody could still technically win that back if they win both the international and the Continental, they would be the unified champ again.
See,
I think that's the point of it, but it's still kind of
weird. I get that, but where does it end? Because theoretically, whoever is the Continental champion, what if they also win the TNT title?
And then they're unified and the TNT champion.
No, but I'm not saying the unified and the TNT.
Oh,
I'm saying, what if they're just the Continental champion and the TNT champion?
Did I imagine? No, I think it's got to be those two specific championships. I think it has to be the International and the Continental. Yeah, man, I don't know.
God help them. God help them when they get the international title and the national title. Oh my God! Like, it's a headache.
It kind of is. As for the time limit rule, the only other thing I can think of, if they're going to try to do something different, is if you get to a draw, then you just get another eliminator match. But that seems kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So those are the rules, kids. Let's get into the actual matches. One note before I hit the finish: Moxley actually kicked out of pay dirt towards the end of this match, which the cover wasn't good, so it kind of made sense that Mox was able to kick out. But MVP sold it pretty big on commentary, so I thought that was cool and cool of MVP. Anyway, to jump to the end here, after Shelton hit a high knee in the corner, Moxley countered his next move with a paradigm shift, but Shelton was able to kick out. Moxley then got in the sleeper hold as we got down to about a minute in the match, but Shelton was able to escape and then hit Mox with a massive knee strike, and Moxley was able to kick out of that. Benjamin then quickly put Moxley into a triangle choke, but as the clock ticked down within 10 seconds, Moxley was able to leverage his way up, get Shelton's shoulders down onto the mat for the 3 count, and Mox was able to win. And after the match, Moxley and Benjamin shook hands after Moxley offered something Mox refused to do at the start of the match when Shelton offered his hand. So, James, I like this match a lot. It was, I don't want to call it a slobber knocker, but it was definitely very hard hitting. But I did like the juxtaposition of brawler, but increasingly better submission artist Moxley against the better and very strong striker Moxley against very strong striker, but better technical and more athletic wrestler in Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah, no, I did too. I love that dichotomy between the two. I think I more than anything appreciated the story they were telling. Moxley, like, I love that this feels like a natural face transition for what Mox was trying to accomplish with the Death Riders, which was, I'm not just going to give you my respect. I'm not just going to shake your hand and smile and pretend everything's nice. But if you earn my respect, I will. Like, I'll pay you that respect if you earn it. And I think that's a great way for him to feel authentic to himself. In this match, they did push each other. Like, you were joking about the slobber knocker, which, let's acknowledge, good old JR, Jim Ross, back on the commentary table. And let me say, I hope it's a long time before he's back at the commentary table.
I didn't think it was that bad, but I think
that main event was indefensible.
He was tired. But that's what I was saying. Like, I think we've also said this for a long time, where he's at his best when he only does like a couple of matches at the end of pay-per-views, and when he does the sit-down interviews that are pre-taped, because he's still phenomenal in those. So, I mean, I love JR, and they wanted to give him one because he's coming back. So I'm letting all of that slide tonight. I don't care.
Yeah, no, I agree. Maria saying hello. Hey, Maria, how are you doing? She's saying it's such a mess.
Yeah, the Continental.
The Continental
stuff. The title stuff.
Yeah. And that this was a great match.
Oh, I really, really loved it.
Yeah. You know, it's saying if you missed a few weeks of AEW, you're like, what the fuck? Mox's face, but still with the Death Rider. That's something that sooner than later they're going to need to address, and I'm sure they are. But it was the right decision to not do it during the holiday season. As it is, I think Toni gave way too much away on those December shows. When you have the least amount of people watching, you have Mercedes Moné drop the TBS title, which I think is insane.
I think that's why he did it, because he wanted people to tune in. Because
but it didn't work. It just didn't work. And he does this every year.
Every
year, his December is super packed. And I liked
it. I watched everything because I missed most of it. And then I wanted to rewatch the pay-per-view, World's End, because I saw it, but I was like with people, so I didn't really watch it. So I rewatched everything from the Christmas Dynamite through Collision last week, and it was fucking awesome.
Oh no, it was. I enjoyed it. I watched World's End and loved it. I've been back at it at the pod for a little bit too.
I saw.
Yeah, but I don't think you can make a real argument that last week's Dynamite wouldn't have made a lot of sense to have been this week's Dynamite.
I guess that's fair. I guess a lot more people were probably watching tonight because everyone's back on a more regular schedule.
Sure.
But I also think, too, this was kind of a fluke of a year where you had both Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve land on a Wednesday.
Oh, for sure. But even so, like, WWE's not putting out their A quality. Granted, they haven't put out A quality stuff in about a year and a half.
They've been putting out A quality.
But they're not putting out, like, their top tier content in the last couple of weeks of the month either, nor should they. And then what did they do Monday night? They had a packed Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they kind of fumbled a little bit of the delivery, but they had booked multiple title matches, and there was a lot of excitement for the show.
Yeah. And it was also the anniversary of them being on Netflix and stuff, so they hyped it up pretty big.
Look,
Mercedes did not drop the TBS title. I do not know what you guys are talking about.
Maria, whatever helps you get through the challenging times of change. You know, it's not just the year changing; it's the tides are turning too with wrestling. So I will back your fantasy up all the way.
If we can get back to this whole redemption for Moxley thing really quick, because we got a little sidetracked with Toni and his booking there for a second. I think they actually went about it pretty well because, and this is something I think touched upon before we left, and I've been reading it a lot online, where Moxley's story kind of became this guy who was having trouble winning by himself, and he was cheating all the time. He had the Death Riders with him, and then he gets to the C2. He can't get any of that help. He loses a few matches, including to a fellow Death Rider in Claudio, and he has to win out to make the semis. And he not only wins out, he goes on to win the tournament. And in doing so, he kind of like finds himself again and like how good he was after like losing, like not only not being able to win without help, and then actually losing a bunch of matches in high profile fashion. So I think there was that through line there and that storyline, and that's why people kind of came back around to him, despite the fact he has done so many heinous things in the past. And I'm sure, like, you know, there will be something with that. There will be something with the Death Riders coming up because they are very clearly still heel. But between Moxley finding himself again and then realizing the amount of respect he has for everybody in the C2, something I mentioned before we left was I thought his storyline was going to be finally seeing the AEW that he wanted when he started the Death Riders and starting to think like, oh, okay, like my mission's kind of complete here. I can just go out and wrestle and, you know, to wrestle the best again. And the Death Riders probably not seeing it that way. So that's where I think we're headed with this. And like you said, I think not doing the turn immediately during the holidays, especially not at the pay-per-view, because he just won the title. It wouldn't have made any sense for them to turn on him when they're all about winning. I do think what actually might end up happening is if Moxley continues at this pace, he wrestled last week in an Eliminator match. Now he wrestled again this week in an Eliminator match. If he continues at this pace with the way he continues to sell that leg, if he pushes himself too much and he loses, that's when I think the Death Rider, or when he loses, that's when I think the Death Riders turn on.
I could also see them just having an issue with the fact that he's just shaking hands with people.
Maybe.
That they think he's going soft.
That's possible too. I think it'll be a culmination of everything.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's a lot of fuel to that fire.
Yeah, but I also think this might be a surprisingly short reign because of the reasons I just mentioned.
I hope it is, just because Okada's reign was so long.
Yeah, it was like 2 years, right? Almost.
Yeah, give or take. Like he won the last Continental Classic, but he was already champion at that point.
Yeah, he beat Eddie for it.
Yeah.
At a pay-per-view, and then
went in as champion, retained it, and
Yeah.
then went into the next one as champion. So
Yeah.
year and a half at the very least.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was like 400 and something days.
Yeah.
So either way, it was a long ass time.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
I mean, looking forward to seeing what happens with Moxley and the Death Riders. Again, shout out to him and Benjamin for this match tonight. It rocked. But let's keep it rolling.
Oh yeah.
All right. After this, we got a brief thing of Darby Allin searching backstage for Pac, but he didn't find him. Then we got Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Kazuchika Okada highlights. If you want to hear some more comments of that, James covered Wrestle Kingdom a couple of days ago, so you can check that out after we're done here.
Oh yeah.
Came back for commercial with Kenny Omega calling out MJF. They did a whole video package from Kenny last week, which was cool. It's just kind of a recap thing. And that led us into our next match, which saw the Demand face off against Jungle Jack Perry, and what was supposed to be JetSpeed, but obviously they had gotten taken out at the start of the show. So between them being out and Luchasaurus getting taken out last week by the Demand, who's Jack's partners are going to be, and Super Kick Party.
How cool is it to hear that again?
Oh my God. Honestly, dude, I didn't react for half a second because I was just like so used to them having that music even now. And I just went, oh, fuck, that's the music. And then they come out in the highlighter colors and the tassels.
Oh,
and
the tassels.
Holy fucking shit, we are so back.
We are back, baby. 2026. Bringing back the good stuff.
Oh, the hype is so real.
Oh, yeah.
And, similar with the Death Riders, the Bucks have a lot to answer for, but I did like Excalibur especially kind of being like, despite all the shit they pulled as, the EVPs, the Bucks do have some loyal fans, and them kind of coming around and being apologetic, I think people are going to forgive them.
Like, one of the best parts about it, too, was, like, he directly mentions, because it was Kenny. And it's like, that shouldn't matter, but I get it.
Because it's Kenny bringing them back?
No, because it's like, because of the bad things they did were to Kenny, it's fine. Because it's like, if Kenny can forgive them, we all should be able to forgive them, which I think is hilarious, but I get it.
It's a solid point, though. Like, he was the one who was aggrieved.
Several were, but I understand.
Yep. All right. Some quick notes about this match. Toni Liona Samoan dropped everybody, which was really cool.
Really, that was a huge moment because that's got to be like 500 something pounds.
Yeah, even like the Bucks and Jack are not, bigger dudes, but especially not the Bucks have dropped back down a little. Good for them, by the way. But that's a lot of fucking people. Yeah,
Nick is looking great. Yeah.
I mean, even if like, I don't know what they're billed at anymore, but like, let's just pretend they're all 225. I can't do math, but that's a lot of weight. It's almost 700 pounds.
Jack is like 100 something.
Yeah, he's probably billed at like 205 or something. But yeah, realistically,
it's
probably like
low end of that, it's 500. Realistically, it could be 600.
Yeah.
And weight, beyond just the weight of it, it's hard to hold 3 bodies because they've all got different weight distribution.
Yeah, not only that, like they're all stacked up on your shoulders. You got to get them to the middle. And then you also have to not, get to fall properly. It was quite the feat of strength. Shout out to Liona. And honestly, shout out GOA really quick in general. They've been great in the Demand, and I'm glad to have them on my TV again because they went to Ring of Honor for a little while after they had a nice string, a nice little run in AEW, but they were on Ring of Honor for a long while. Coming back here, joining Demand, and just fucking shit up in the ring. They have, and out of the ring too. They have been great, and they have been great with Ricochet. So shouts to them.
I want to see a little more personality out of them, but overall, very happy with their growth.
Yeah, and you get some a little bit. Ricochet, funny enough, has been talking more for the group than not, but at the beginning of the group, they were talking a bit too. So hopefully they can get around to that a little more.
Crazy to think that these two were once attached to Swerve.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's really nuts to think about.
But that was the they had a name. I don't even remember what it was.
Mogul Enterprises?
Yeah.
Mogul something. I don't know.
Yeah, and then they combined with somebody else. It was a weird time.
Yeah.
It got dropped very quickly. There was that dude with a lot of tattoos on his face. Like,
So the Gates were with Tully.
I think.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Keep going, but I'll figure it out.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's jump to the end of this match here. After Jack got off of Ricochet's shoulders by hitting him with a nasty poison rana, the Bucks came in and cleared house with a super kick party, sending GOA to the outside. Matt then got Ricochet up on his shoulders and then helped Perry up to the top rope with the tiaras. When he got there, Nick then jumps onto the top ropes next to him and hits a springboard dive to the outside to take out GOA before Perry hits a doomsday device. Nick quickly then gets back in the ring and joined Matt to hit a BTE trigger onto Ricochet, which is then followed up with an assisted running knee from Perry, who then pins the national champion Ricochet for the win.
Second time that he's done it.
Second time.
He lost to Ricochet last week in the championship match, but I think this guarantees we're getting a rematch.
Cool. Yeah, no, interesting. Like, he'd probably get a rematch, but what was I gonna say? I don't think they pull that title off of Ricochet just yet.
I mean, I agree, but I would like to see Ricochet actually travel with the belt. We've been talking about it, and granted, it's the second week of January, the first week of January. Totally fair, but
people have been on holidays. Like,
yeah, for sure. No judgment on that. But let's get announcements. Like, let's hear he's going to be at Hog. Yeah. Let's hear he's going to be at some of these indies.
Fuck, send him to LLW. Like, wherever.
No, I agree. Revolve anywhere. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know if he defended it in the UK at like Rev Pro or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It would have been cool.
So. Yeah, it would have been the right choice, but
yeah.
But we'll get there. But let's start it happening.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm like, unless they want that to be like the hot shot title and they just put it on everybody all the time, sure. But I like you said, let's get the ball rolling on people defending it in other companies. As we say hello to Fernando. What's up, dude? Buenas noches. Good to see you as always. James, we'll get to the stuff after the match in a second. But for the match itself, classic PWG. It was great. It was my beautiful PWG spot fest. It's all I ever want from Bucks matches now from the end of time. So I enjoyed this a lot.
It was very indie centric, and I say that in the best way possible. I say that in the most complimentary way possible. The whole last 45 seconds are just them murdering Ricochet.
Yep.
I loved Ricochet going from that spot where he basically had he threw Perry up onto his shoulders for a fireman's carry and then went for the move, but Perry was able to counter it, I think, into her Karana.
Poison Rana.
And then that turned into the Bucks super kicking him, and then they all super kicked him, then they all kneed him. They all hit the BTE trigger on him. It was just murder. It was like 45 seconds of murder, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was so much fun to watch, and it was satisfying to watch because it was Ricochet.
Yeah, and also, too, not only does he get his comeuppance, but look at everything it took to take him out as national champion. So
1,000%.
I like that a lot as well. So love me my spa fests. I was very happy. Fernando's agreeing with you, James, that they need to do something more with the national title.
Yes.
Maria saying it was also very impressive for the Bucks to help Liona pull off the Samoan drop. It was impressive by all four of those.
It's a team effort. It's a team effort for sure.
Bishop Kahn helped a little too. I think he kind of helped boost Jack up onto all the way on the top. So that was good. And then Maria said they should win the tag team championship soon. I'm not sure if you're referring to the Bucks or GOA, but I weirdly think that place is a little crowded right now. Again, as we were talking about before, really kind of depends on Copeland and Christian and when they're coming back, if they're taking the titles off of FTR, because if not, you have Hangman and Swerve right there. Okay. After this match, Jake Doyle and Mark Davis come in from behind and attack the Bucks and Perry as they're celebrating, with the Callis family members focusing on the Bucks while Perry gets sent to the outside and GOA attack him out there. Doyle and Davis are then joined by the carny piece of shit Don Callis and El Clone. When an injured JetSpeed come down with some hockey sticks and they start trying to fight people off, but then the lights go out for probably a little bit too long.
All right, thank you. It felt like it was 2 seconds too long.
Yeah. Who'd you think it was going to be? Because I thought.
Oh no,
I
knew it was going to be him. I
thought it might have been Kenny.
And so at Wrestle Kingdom, the English commentary made point of saying AEW wrestler.
Yes.
And I just knew, because who else, like the Don Callis family is, despite being on NWO levels of membership, they were down a man. So I knew it would be him.
Yeah. And him being Andrade El Idolo, I think we're still calling him El Idolo, as was revealed as the lights came back on, and he was in his mask and a very nice coat and jacket. He took out Speedball and Kevin Knight before removing said mask, and then the Don Callis family members kind of mopped everything up and stood tall over the Bucks, Perry, and JetSpeed as the demand headed up the ramp. And as they went into the back, very curiously, FTR and a wheelchair-bound Stokely Hathaway came back and looked down from the entranceway. And now commentary thought this was harkening back to their history with Andrade, which I had completely forgot about, but I do vaguely remember it happening.
Vaguely as well. I barely remember it, but yes.
But there are two pretty high-profile tag teams in there and seemingly a brand new, strong third one. Yep. So there's probably a lot of reasons why they came out. Either way, I thought it was a good beatdown. Andrade also got the All Elite graphic from Tony Khan after the show tonight.
2026 strong. Two big signings, two official signings.
Yeah,
2026 in the first episode of Dynamite. That's big.
Yeah, so good for Tony. But I really like this. You make Jake Doyle look really strong on the jump, as well as Davis, putting them together, making them look really strong as partners. And then you have Andrade make his re-debut.
So this man went WWE, AEW, WWE, AEW, AEW.
Yeah, with a little New Japan sprinkled in there because
and don't forget Hog.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed to be in AEW. But
craziness.
Hey, look, I think it's cool. I wonder if we end up getting the program with him and Kenny.
That we were supposed. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I would give anything to get Kenny away from the Don Callis family forever. I don't know what deal with the devil was made to keep Kenny wrestling. Like, can you imagine that was the stipulation? It's like you can wrestle for another 5 years, but you will have to wrestle with the Don Callis family for 5 months out of the year every time. But yeah, I could see us going there, especially because Kenny did say at one point to the Bucks, I think he was either on BTE or on Dynamite or on Collision. I have some unfinished business that I have to get to. Andrade does, it does feel like Andrade fits that category. Although it could be just he is referring to the World Championship. We'll see. Either way, it ain't over. This ain't over. It's just not. I do think, let me say, I think from what I heard, the injury to Luchasaurus was legit. I think they wrote him off. I think they wrote him off last week to give him for this, to heal. I do think it would just make sense for Perry to be absorbed into the Elite. Like, reuniting Jurassic Express was great to get Perry cheered again. And it was a good way of forming up a lot of stuff. I mean, you could have Lucha be associated with them, but to have Perry just be officially a member of the Elite with Kenny, this babyface version of the group, just accept it. Just let it happen. You know, I think you're fighting against yourself if you don't allow it to happen.
I don't necessarily need him to be in the Elite by name, but I would imagine he's going to run with the Bucks until Luchasaurus comes back. And I think that's good enough.
I guess. You know? I'm fine either way. All in all, I'm just happy we have a babyface Elite once again. It's been a while since we've had a babyface Elite. But I think just don't fight it. Just don't fight it. He's been partnering with them since he's returned, essentially. They wrestled, and then they've been partnering since.
Yeah.
So just let it happen.
I'm good either way. Like, if they want to just be like, oh yeah, he's still the elite. Like, we never kicked him out. That you could do that, or you could just be like, yeah, no, he's just running with us now since Lucha is gone.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. It all works.
Yeah. It all works.
Okay, moving on. After this, we went to really quick. Well, I'm going to say something about Kenny and Andrade. I can see that being the feud before Kenny goes for the title.
I think so. See, I agree, and I think that's important. So I'm not.
Unless you think Andrade has to win the feud.
No, I don't think so. He attacked him. I think by all accounts, Kenny can get the win. And I don't think that's me being biased. I just think you can work that. But beyond that, my bias is coming. I don't want Kenny to be MJF's first real big challenge because we know how that works. He's not going to win.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking you throw him at Andrade at him to delay that.
Yeah, I completely agree. Granted, I still don't think Kenny is the guy to beat MJF, unfortunately. I think there's a few other people that make more sense. But I would love another AEW title reign for Kenny. I would love it. I've been very vocal about that. I want him to get his babyface title reign, but I don't have many illusions that it will happen. But I think Kenny Andrade, no matter how you paint it, is a feud or at least a match that's going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's coming down the pipeline, especially considering too, like that video package ran right before their match started.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
I think that makes sense. All right, speaking of championships, though, after we came back from commercial, we had Willow Nightingale's TBS Championship celebration. What?
All right. I have my reasons. I'm actually Team Maria on this one. We'll talk. Somebody else said it too. I think it said it, that this felt weird. And I'll tell you why, but...
Okay, first of all, you're not legally allowed to be mad at Willow for anything. You always have to be happy for her.
I'm not mad at Willow. I love Willow. I wish her all the happiness that she deserves. That said, this was a clunky segment.
Oh, okay.
It was I'm not mad that Willow won. Good for Willow.
I thought you were upset like that she beat.
No.
Ladies. I was like, wait.
I think Willow winning kind of diminishes the whole thing because Mercedes went on this huge run beating Willow for the title. So it's like we're just back to where we started before, which isn't great after such a long title reign. Like somebody should dethrone Mercedes that was new. But regardless, I digress. I'm happy she won because I love Willow. She deserves good things. But I'm talking 100% about this segment, which I thought was a clunker.
Okay. We'll get to the segment in a second because I do want to briefly talk about that win last week. Because,
go for it.
I do agree with you on the point where I thought it was going to be somebody that they could really like make that hadn't really popped off yet.
Yeah.
And it being Willow, like I'm never going to be mad Willow wins anything. It's just she wasn't who I was expecting.
Yeah.
That crowd last week, though, was so hot for that match. They were muerto most of the match. They were asleep most of the night, except I think for the opening segment. And then all of a sudden that match starts and they are popping like it's Rock. I was gonna say Rock Austin. I meant Rock Hogan at X8. Like they were going crazy. And then she won. Crowd goes nuts. Harley comes out. We're celebrating. And then the conglomeration comes out. And fucking Stack comes out. And that hug was amazing. It was what we needed to end the year. I don't care that Willow won over somebody who maybe they could have built bigger. Don't care. We got everything I wanted from that title win. It was perfect. End of discussion. Now for this segment. So after Renee introduces Willow, she comes out with Harley Cameron and Chris Statlander. And again, that hug last week made everything okay again. Up until like today, but whatever. Renee then asks Willow about being a double champ and now a 2-time TBS champion. And Willow says that she feels complete. Now the hard work really begins. Willow knows how important it is to smell the roses and take everything in. And she's very happy to be with Renee. and Harley, who she gave a lot of platitudes to, but I'm not going to repeat them here because I don't want to seem weird. Willow then also says she is there to celebrate a reunion, not just with her TBS championship, but with Chris Statlander. Willow then addresses her future challengers, telling them to come get some, even offering to fight twice in one night. I see you, Maria, if she has to, because that is pro wrestling. And because it's pro wrestling, she also knows that somebody's in the back and they don't want her to have any fun. And so she invites Mercedes Moné out to join them. Mercedes comes out. She's very sad. She looks like she's crying, but you can't really tell because she's dressed in all white with a hat, a big cowboy hat that is covering her face, and the rest of her face is covered with a white veil.
It felt like a New Orleans funeral outfit.
Honestly, I was a little surprised it wasn't black.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, this would look way better in black. I'm wondering why it's white. It looked almost more like a very weird, like, wedding gown because of the veil, honestly.
Yeah.
White. But either way, you can't really see Mercedes' face. So when she comes down to the ring, and Willow says that they both have a lot to celebrate, and she lists Mercedes' accomplishments from the last year, winning all the titles, getting all the awards from different outlets and stuff like that, before saying that it was because of Mercedes that she had to really dig down and figure out what she needed in order to get back the TBS championship. But Willow's once again in the face of TBS, so it is time to celebrate and cut some cake, which Willow was very, very specific about having. She really wanted some of that cake. Unfortunately, as she went to go eat it, Mercedes took her hat off, revealing that she was indeed crying before she started screaming and just, throwing a hissy fit and crashing out the way she had been the last few weeks. And she starts throwing everything off the table. Luckily, Stat saved the cake. And as Mercedes finishes clearing and flipping the table, she then turns to Harley, who I think was trying to get her to calm down, but she just shoves Harley into the ropes. And then Mercedes turns around and looks at Willow, and Willow's just kind of, both titles on her shoulders, just kind of shrugs and goes, "Don't come after me." And Mercedes runs straight at her, and Willow sidesteps her, and I think tripped her. I don't know if she tripped over, or Willow did trip her, and Mercedes tripped right into the cake. That's that
perfect placement. Bravo. Brilliant.
Mercedes lands face first, and she realizes what happens, and she starts flipping out again, even more this time. And then she turns around and runs right into Willow, who is just like, enough of this shit, and picks her up and hits her with the power bomb right back into the cake.
Yep.
And then Willow's music hits and everyone celebrates. So, James, I don't know why you thought this segment was a clunker. I know, did Willow give the cleanest promo ever? Maybe not, but I enjoyed the hell out of it.
All right, so I'll retract clunker. I agree. The promo could have been a little cleaner, but more than anything, it just really felt like the three baby faces invited the heel out, knowing she was going to act out, to then punish her. It felt very mean girly.
Well, maybe they were just preempting Mercedes ruining the segment anyway.
It just felt premeditated. Like, it's the difference, like, when you're in court, like, I got to prove intent. I think there was intent here. I think we can prove it, that this was a premeditated assault on our former TBS champion.
No, I'm going to continue to disagree because Willow actually was not only gracious towards her, she listed all of Mercedes' accomplishments. She was like, let's all celebrate. This was a good year for everyone here. And then Mercedes just couldn't handle it.
Maria, I'm with you. It felt like our babyface champions disgraced themselves with their behavior. Yes, this was the word I was going to use. They bullied a broken woman who gave her all to this company and to professional wrestling as a whole. And I expect better from supposed role models. But either way, look, overall, it was fun. It was fun.
there are two role models. One's in the other company, and one hasn't shown up in a few years.
God, it really has been a couple of years, hasn't it?
It's actually the last time I saw her was against Mercedes. I think it All In 2 years ago.
My God. So yeah, been a minute, but this was fun. I'm mostly just saying that this was a bad promo or not a bad segment. I don't actually think it was a bad segment. I just think the baby faces kind of looked a little bad here.
I don't know, man. Mercedes been bullying everybody since she got there. Like, her getting a little comeuppance while she's crashing out doesn't seem that bad to me. Also, it was funny as shit.
It's called the high road. It's called the high road. It's what they're supposed to strive to take. But I'm not going to dwell on it. I wish Mercedes well. Maybe she takes a week off. Recuperates mentally and emotionally. I also got to say, as good as the faceplant was, which it was great onto the cake, the spine buster placement on the cake was also fantastic.
Oh, the powerbomb? Yeah.
Yeah, I said spine buster. Powerbomb was fantastic.
It was also funny that they just sent her right back into the cake.
Yeah, no, it was perfect placement on that cake. Just fantastic.
Yeah. And you know what's saying? Not to mention the perfect placement with 8-inch heels on for Mercedes.
Seriously.
Perfectly.
Yep. No, everybody played their role here beautifully.
Yeah. I know I had a couple comments really quick, my bad. Saying that he thought he was expecting Mercedes to either be under the table or maybe even there was somebody else under the hat because we couldn't see her face. And honestly, there were a couple of red herrings where you thought that might happen. Yeah. And then Mercedes, for the second time, when dealing with Chris Statlander and Harley, gets caked. So.
And to think, getting pied in the face was what sent Toni Storm over to AEW. Yeah, no real notes on this. I thought this was great. And I like that they deconstructed. It's like, we all know what's going to happen. She's going to come out. Let's just get ahead of it.
Invite her down. Be nice.
Yeah. I
help her through this difficult time. Yeah. And then Maria's just like, we mess with nobody.
I think a year plus of messing with people would say otherwise.
I also want to quickly shout out Mercedes because when she does get her comeuppance, she is so willing to, give for other people. Like, this is the second time she has gotten caked. And, she has been great at crashing out the last few weeks. She got to drop an F-bomb on the pay-per-view too.
That was nuts. It was oof.
So I don't know, but she's so giving when it comes to that. So shout out to her, being willing to humiliate herself like this.
Nope. The best heels know when they got to take the dive, exactly. and to go big with the dive.
All right. Thank you for covering for me there. All right. Next up after this, we went to Wade James cake to the face is the Toni signature move.
It's full circle, baby. Full circle.
Got to get that sound effect in here somewhere for the new year. After this, we went to Mark Briscoe cutting a promo from what I'm going to imagine is his farm.
Delaware.
And he started off first by shouting out Willow for winning the TBS title. And then he goes on to say that he hasn't really defended his title too much recently, but he, there was a Continental Classic and you really enjoyed watching it and resting up and recuperating. But now that the tournament is over, he's ready to go again because he actually hasn't been in a great place mentally due to the fact that he hasn't whooped another man's ass recently.
We've all been there.
And he's actually very happy that his next challenger will be Hechicero because now things are coming full circle as he once again faces off against a member of the Don Callis family, which is how his title reign started. Briscoe then mocked Hechicero's hand thing, saying that he can see into the future, and on Saturday, he will still be champ, as the phrase of the day is reigning and defending. We then went to commercial, I believe, and then came back. Or maybe we went straight into this. I don't remember. Either way, it was a Triangle of Madness backstage promo where Thekla and the Sisters of Sin were mocking Statlander for finally finding some friends, asking if Stat is so insecure that she had to reunite with someone she hates, asking how long before she spits in the face of Harley, or hits Willow with the light tube again. So they challenge the 3 champs to a trios match next week on Dynamite to test how strong their friendship really is. Side note, Dynamite, Maximum Carnage next week. Good card so far.
Yeah, I'm very excited for next week. I did want to just say I'm going to give you the most Matt Cascone nitpick of all time that I can muster.
Okay.
It bothered me so much that when they were like, we're sisters in blood or something like that, or, you know, like, sisters,
yeah, they rhymed something like that. Yeah.
And then they said, we're daughters of violence. I was like, daughters of destruction sounds fucking amazing.
Maybe it's too close to brothers of destruction.
That's what I thought too, but like, when you've got it, run with it. I don't care. They don't own the word destruction.
I guess. Didn't bug me too much.
I'm a sucker for alliteration.
Fair enough. So am I. You're also a big comic book guy. But I also I do like how the Sisters of Sin are now kind of structuring their promos a bit, because they're not just saying things at the same time. They're like rhyming to get back through everybody, like a triangle. So I think the way they tweak their promos in backstage have been really cool.
Yeah. Also, just want to shout out, it was really cool to see Tekla at New Japan.
Oh, was she there last week? Cool.
She accompanied, I believe it's her real life partner, Clark Connors. He's
I believe that they're together.
Yeah, she came out ringside while he was wrestling. So I think we know Clark Connors' contract is running out in New Japan. It's heavily speculated he's leaving, and
rumors he's going to AEW.
I think we know. Well, I mean, let's just say it actually, because AEW. Quick pause now. R.I.P. Bullet Club.
Oh, dude. Oh man, I can't believe that. I mean, I get it. Like,
13-year run is good,
and it had been really like holding on there for a while too.
Yeah.
You know, like I like some of the guys who were still there. Like the War Dogs were cool, and obviously, Gabe Kidd being in it, he was awesome. I couldn't really understand why he wasn't running it. Finley was okay.
Finley was the veteran. I mean, in comparison, the veteran. So it made sense that his War Dogs were his like lieutenants.
Yeah.
And Kidd didn't really pick up steam until the Kenny match. Like, he was getting hot, but he didn't really get hot until the Kenny match.
That Kenny match rocked.
It was amazing. But the problem was, we talked about this in our chat, Kidd was starting to get babyface responses, and it was very clear they didn't want to push him as a babyface. So in the process, he got nothing. Like, nothing worked. So it's unfortunate that they couldn't capitalize on how over he was getting because of the Kenny match. But we'll see. I think he's sticking with New Japan. I don't think he's coming to AEW full time. I think he's just going to be a part-time Death Rider.
Yeah, I think that works. I mean, would I love to see him in AEW so I can see more of him? Yes, but I think he does great in New Japan. He's got a real shot to be one of their top gaijins. Yeah. Or even if he's a babyface, he's got a shot to be, a top dude over there.
Yeah.
And I think him coming in part-time to AEW works perfectly considering their relationship. So
I'm inclined to agree. So RIP Bullet Club. Welcome potentially Clark Connors to AEW. Welcome Dave Finley potentially to WWE, and we'll see where we go from there.
And welcome back to the OG title.
Yeah.
Thank God that belt is back.
Oh my God. It is now a race for the number one belt in wrestling right now. I love the AEW title, but the IWGP title is gorgeous.
Yeah. So that was just the heavyweight championship.
Yeah. So the IWGP heavyweight championship turned into the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship,
which is what Takeshita has.
Lost, but yes.
Oh, he lost it. Oh, damn! I didn't know he lost.
Well, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I know, dude. It's been like a week. I should know these things. I just hadn't had a chance to check out.
The semi-main event was a unification match, not a unification match, but it was a winner-take-all match where Konosuke Takeshita defended the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Yota Tsuji, who was the IWGP Global champion. And Tsuji won in a banger of a fucking match.
shocker.
Bro, like, I will give you my New Japan World. Watch this banger of a match. And Suji brought back the former belt. I don't know how this is affecting Lineage. I don't know if, because like that new belt that Takeshita
had its own lineage,
which everybody thought was the dumbest thing in the world. So I don't know if that lineage is getting absorbed into the old lineage and now like the old lineage is picking up again. I don't know. But we have the belt back. That's the major win at this moment. We'll figure it out. Major win. We'll figure it out from there afterwards. But it's a race now. The AEW title has some competition for Prettiest Championship.
Yeah. I love that title. I'm just glad it's back. I will definitely check out Wrestle Kingdom. I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Really quick to the comments. Speaking of titles, you know what's saying he likes the TBS title. Looks cool and a bit old school. I like it a lot as well.
I think he meant TNT title.
I'm good with both. I like them both a lot. I agree with what he said about the TBS, and then I like the fact that the TNT kind of gets a little customized for whoever wins it.
It's my favorite aspect of that belt.
Yeah. All right. Where were we? We were on Bandido versus Sammy Guevara. Quick on Sammy.
Guevara making a Dynamite return in 2026. God bless him.
Honestly, I love his mustache.
It's so bad in the best way.
It really is. It looks like he should be like a douchebag bad guy in like an Antonio Banderas Zorro movie.
Yeah. He looks like somebody who would be like in the car with Matthew McConaughey saying, I keep getting older and they keep staying the same. All right.
It's just so perfectly douchey.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a complimentary way.
No, it suits him beautifully.
Yeah.
His douchey face is douchier now, and it suits him.
Yeah, which is funny because like people always say like he's got one of the most punchable faces in wrestling, but he always had like a very baby face because it's clean whatever.
Yeah.
Now he just put a little bit of mustache on it, and he not only is more punchable, but he looks like so much more of a dick.
No, I agree. I don't know if this is taking it a step too far. I think he's at a stage that he maybe should switch from shorts to pants or trunks to pants.
Maybe.
And I think he's got a real potential for a good look with this mustache and everything. You kind of get nervous that maybe you're copying Dom Mysterio just a little too much. But like I think there's some real potential for him now with this mustache.
To be fair, some guys just don't like wrestling in pants. So, and considering like some of the high flying stuff he does, he might have a little trouble with it. So maybe
I raised you a Ray Fenix and a Nick Jackson.
No, I don't. You could also say Rey Mysterio. Like he wears pants too. I'm just saying maybe he has trouble with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Look good, feel good, play good.
Yeah.
Anyway. To jump to the end of this match, while Sammy was taking too long talking shit about being the next AEW World Champion, he lines up Bandido for a big kick while Bandido was on his knees, but Bandido ends up catching it. Bandido then flips Sammy over, and as he lands, hits Sammy with a massive knee, sending Guevara into the ropes. Yep. Bandido then hits the 21 plex and pins Sammy for the win. And then after the match, as Bandido was celebrating, MJF's music hit, and he came down to the ring with his translator, Jonathan Cruz, for a chat. And we'll get to all that stuff in a minute. But James, good lucha things out of this match.
Very good lucha things.
It was so really good. Shout out to Sammy powering through, bloodying his nose. I saw it mentioned it there. I don't know if he broke it, but he definitely fucked it up a little.
Yeah.
And gotta say, one of my favorite spots in this was Sammy countering a 21 plex, or as Bandido was running in for one, with a cutter, and then Sammy went for his next move, and Bandido just hit a cutter right back.
Yeah, no,
they were both awesome because Sammy got distance on that cutter. Like he sprung himself off the ropes to about 3/4 of the way across the ring to catch Bandido.
No, so, I agree. One, I thought they did a good job of having Sammy counter. I think he countered 2 21 plexes. Yep. That he either dodged it or turned it into something else. And I love that. And
I know he got one very early in the match where he just rolled out of the ring, but then later in the match, he got at least 2 more, including that cutter.
So I thought that was a great play. We're big fans. Obviously, we both are. We're big fans of seeing guys fighting out of finishers as opposed to just kicking out of them. Like, there's a time and a place for that too. But I love seeing, no, you're not catching me with this. I'm too good for this. I'm not gonna let you just hit me. I really like seeing that, and I thought Sammy did a good job with that. Bandido just feels so confident in the ring. Like, not that he shouldn't be. Like, it's just everything
he should be. He's going to be Wrestler of the Year.
but what I mean is, like, everything he does looks amazing. Everything he does makes sense within the context of the match. It's like everything he does is so smooth and meticulous almost. Yet he makes it look effortless. So all the credit in the world to Bandido. He had a good dance partner in Sammy Guevara, but he's just further demonstrating what we have just so passionately gotten behind in 2025. And now he's bringing that into 2026. I see you didn't make a banner for it, so I do just want to acknowledge it. They did also have a very good Brody King.
Oh yes, thank you. I was it was on my list of things. I was just kind of
I'll just say it really quickly. It seems like we're at the end of Bandido. Like, it has naturally just sort of come to a breaking point, and both men are going into singles. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I fell in love with Bandido. I thought it turned into an incredible tag team that served its purpose, and they put on banger after banger. But I am very excited for both the singles futures of Brody King and Bandido.
Yeah, considering the last couple of weeks what they've been doing with the two of them. Last week they had Bandido talking about his shot at the AEW World Championship coming up next week, and Brody was with him, and he said, like, hey, we discussed it. When Bandido wins, I get the first shot at him and the title. And between that and the video package tonight for Brody, which included clips of his band, which was really cool.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Gives him depth.
Yeah. I'm also, if I believe I heard correctly, one of the lines that they had from his music was him like scream yelling a woman's her woman's body's her own shit or whatever. Like, yeah, it was something like that. And I was just like, this fucking guy's the man.
Ally.
But yeah, I do think that they are going to singles, and I think they did it in a great way. Like, they're very clearly still friends. They're going to be allied with each other, if in case the other one needs help, but they're going to do their own thing now, and I think that works perfectly for both men.
Likewise. So that's what I want to see. I don't need every team to have a dramatic breakup. Sometimes it's just nice to see them go their own way.
Shout out Rybaxel.
the healthiest split in professional wrestling history.
Yeah.
This match was a lot of fun. I'm happy. I am happy to see Sammy back on TV. He is the one pillar that just constantly feels like he got overlooked or just couldn't keep up. And I think he's talented. I think he is talented enough to warrant his place. But very happy to see him on TV again. And Bandido's just Bandido. Enough said.
Yeah. Honestly, with Sammy, I've been seeing some of his stuff from Ring of Honor, and I think he's found a great place with Rush and Mortos. Like, he's been killing it with them. Because he's a great mouthpiece for them. He speaks enough Spanish. I don't know if he's fluent, but he speaks enough Spanish to like make it work and stuff. Yeah. And he just found a really nice rhythm. His character has changed, and I like what he's doing over there. So hopefully, with this match, maybe they could kind of, similar to what happened with GOA, maybe they shift those guys up into back into the Dynamite or Collision ranks and allow somebody else to get a little bit more time off. To, as I like to say, make us miss them.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, MJF came out after this match with his translator, and he comes down to the ring and sarcastically congratulated Bandido on a great match, calling him a, quote, talented little luchador, unquote. Before saying that if anybody knows anything about Lucha Libre, it is MJF. And he runs down all of his accomplishments in Mexico, from selling out Arena Mexico to becoming a CML World Champion to beating the top luchador in Mexico, which is Mystico. I don't know. He had to ask.
No, I was going.
Yeah. And he called himself a Lucha Libre legend and a bigger star in Mexico than Bandido himself. But Max respects Bandido because he thinks he has a lot of potential. And so he brought down his translator, as I mentioned, Jonathan Cruz, to make sure they don't get their wires crossed. Cruz, in a very serpent-like way, then talks to Bandido in Espanol. I think he pretty much said the same thing Max did before MJF took back over. And he says that he has 6 Dynamite Diamond rings to his name. But he didn't come out with any of them because Bandido knows that the ring he currently owns doesn't belong to him, it belongs to Max. And so MJF offers a deal. Bandido should hand over the ring and skip his championship match next week. And in exchange, Max will put him over to Tony Khan. And he might even wrestle him in the future, like 5 to 10 years down the line.
That's a good deal. That's a good deal.
It's not a bad offer. And so MJF tells Cruz to translate, but before he can say anything, Bandido just shoves his hand straight into Cruz's face and takes the mic, and he goes, "I do speak English, you stupid son of a bitch." And the two get in each other's faces, and eventually MJF pulls back a little bit before he kicks Bandido straight in the dick. And then Max takes the Dynamite Diamond ring off of Bandido's fingers, and he lines up Bandido as Cruz holds him up, but Bandido is able to duck the punch, and MJF hits Cruz instead. Bandido then turns around and low blows MJF, as turnabout is fair play, before taking the ring back. And then Bandido quickly hits the ropes, takes out Cruz with the 21 plex before turning around and hitting MJF with one as well, and that sends both men from the ring. And Bandido then picks up the World Championship and poses with it as MJF retreats up the ramp. So honestly, James, considering this match next week had very little build, I thought they did a great job here building to that. MJF completely just disregarding everything Bandido did in the last year is funny as all hell. Him considering himself a better luchador is funny as all hell. But I also think, because we had talked about this, I do think there is a shot that Bandido now puts up the Dynamite Diamond ring on Wednesday next week, along with the title.
I can see it because the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal didn't always lead to a world title match, did it?
It did. It does sometimes. It doesn't others. Like it's a very inconsistent thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we see MJF take the ring, especially because it just does not feel like it suits Bandido, really. Like he doesn't really need it.
He doesn't physically need it. Like he won it. He got
an accolade, and I'm glad he got an accolade. But the physical ring, yes, it's not something that I think really suits him.
I'm just trying to decide whether or not MJF actually wins it off of Bandido, and then so he can claim he's won all of them, or he just steals it. I'm leaning more towards the former because
I'm leaning towards the latter because like he could say like I've won every diamond ring and the one that I didn't win I still defended and retained. You know, like it adds almost a different layer of him being successful.
Well, that's like So you think he wins it or you think he steals it?
I think he steals it and just says like I didn't even need to win it. I just beat the guy who did take it.
Oh, see, I think he wins it because then he could just be like I've won all of them. Fuck you. You know, and then you can still be like, well, Bandido actually has one as well.
Yeah.
And MJF has to go for Brady's ring record. Honestly, that works too. 7 ties Brady, if I'm not mistaken. So he'd be like, I'm as good as Tom Brady next time they go to Boston or something. So that's why I think he ends up winning it.
I could see it. I could see it.
Now, the cool thing is, I thought that I didn't realize it was a new ring every year. I knew
they made a point of it. Even going back to year 2, I remember they made a point of it.
Yeah,
it's like,
I forgot.
Ring. Yeah.
So him physically owning another ring, the new ring would be cool. But I was worried that, him not winning this one, he wouldn't be able to carry one around and use it and to cheat and stuff. But knowing he'll basically always be able to carry one is really cool. Yeah. I do think he ends up Bandido, ends up putting this on the line and Max takes it.
I can see it. My bigger concern, if I'm going to be real, I don't even care about the ring as much. I'm very interested that they're not really making any true display of this is the first time the AEW champion and the Ring of Honor champion are going one-on-one.
Good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Like that's to me. Like I can't 100% say it's the first time. Like maybe when Jericho had the title or something, but like it's still a very big deal. And I know the Ring of Honor World title does not mean what it once did. I understand that. I know that the prestige of Ring of Honor is not as glamorous as it once was. But it is still a big deal to have the world title of one company going against the world title of another company. It's why I knew Takeshita and Claudio were going to go to a draw in the C2. Because you had the IWGP champion going against the CMLL champion. But I wish they played up into that bigger. I wish MJF talked about it in any real way. I wish MJF was just like, yeah, I see you have a world title, but it's not my world title. It's not the AEW world title. And they just glossed over all of it.
Yeah, I do. I'm trying to find whether or not the two have ever faced off against each other, and I really can't find any.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, so yeah, you think that it would be a bigger deal, but
like they're making the Dynamite Diamond Ring feel more important than the ROH title. And I'm not super into that.
Well, I do think that MJF doesn't care about the ROH title. He cares more about the Diamond Ring. I think that's why that's going that way. But I know it's your baby, but I also think that just Ring of Honor just isn't at the level of anything you can win in AEW at the moment, and that's just the way you got to look at
it. And I agree, but it goes back to Bandido being Wrestler of the Year last year. He held the ROH title, I want to say, the majority of last year, or at the very least half of the year, and that should bump the prestige of the ROH title. At the very least, you have an opportunity to say AEW champion versus Ring of Honor champion, and they're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's silly to me. I'm not under any illusion that the Ring of Honor title is on any level comparable to the AEW title. It's not. But there should be some acknowledgement, in my opinion.
But the only thing I can think of is Toni just doesn't want to draw too much attention to it because the Ring of Honor champ is going to lose.
Yeah.
That would be my only guess.
Yeah.
But
hey, man, I'm rooting for Bandido. Let him surprise us. Let him earn that Wrestler of the Year, and he becomes AEW champion.
Yeah. I do think, though, if there was an instance where it was the AEW title versus the Ring of Honor title with both of them on the line, then that probably gets...
For sure. But I mean...
now it's not the first time, so...
Yeah, but you also don't, you don't need to book it that Bandido won the Diamond Ring.
Yeah.
You could have had somebody else fucking do it.
I know, but you need the face, and Bandido getting a shot at the world title after the year he has, I think is a good spot.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, I wonder how ESPN feels about WWE feels about ESPN giving AEW awards. All right, I read that ESPN article, and I did laugh at a decent chunk of it because of the amount of awards they gave WWE, because some of them were slightly ridiculous.
Yeah, my favorite thing, basically, since the WWE ESPN deal has basically, essentially, wow, this show really sucks.
Yeah.
But Dominic Mysterio is pretty cool. That has been consistent. They praise the hell out of Dom, but basically rip everything else WWE does. And I think that's hilarious.
Which is why I was so confused. I mean, I went into that article for the end of the year awards from ESPN being like, they're gonna be sucking WWE's dick here. But reading it after reading all the other stuff ESPN has put out about WWE this past year, I was just like, how can you say all that stuff you said and then be like, this was this and this was that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, female wrestler of the year, I think went to Stephanie Vacar, and I love her, but no. It was Mercedes 100%. Or Toni. That's not even a question. I'm trying to remember who the men's was, and it wasn't anybody from AEW either. It was somebody. It might have been Dom. I don't know. It was pretty ridiculous
for sure.
FTR won Tag Team of the Year, which I guess they had a good year, but it was so quiet.
AEW's tag team division in general was quiet last year.
Yeah.
Despite having like Bandido putting on bangers, it just never, because Bandido was this Franken team, it never felt like they were getting the spotlight the way they should have.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't. The part of me wants to look this up, and part of me is just like, fuck it. But all right, I'm already here. Let's. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, Dom won Men's Wrestler of the Year, which.
Okay. Like I disagree, but okay.
Yeah, I mean he had a great year, but. All right, whatever. We said Vicana was Female Wrestler of the Year, which I didn't like. Tag Team of the Year was FTR. I mean, fine. I'm not going to complain. Match of the Year was Cena versus Styles at Crown Jewel.
It was a very good match. It was not Match of the Year.
I know. I haven't seen it yet, mostly just because I refuse to watch any of WWE stuff in Saudi Arabia. But I heard it was a lot of fun. But
so
no.
More than anything, if you've seen clips of the match online, you've seen the match.
Yeah, it was just all of them hitting their greatest rivals' moves the entire time.
Yeah,
right.
Which was fun. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, and I would have loved it, but no. Debut Wrestler of the Year was also Vicana, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, she debuted in America.
I also do need to point out to you, by the way, I am sorry. It was Crown Jewel, but it wasn't Saudi Arabia. They were in Perth.
Oh, it was the Perth one? Oh,
yeah. So you can guilt-free watch this match.
Yeah. Just the mere association with Saudi Arabia makes me a little guilty.
Come on.
Breakthrough Wrestler of the Year was Fletcher, which was deserved.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
Yeah. Best event of the year was Revolution, which I was pretty okay. Revolution was the one that ended with the Hollywood ending between Mariah and Toni, and then Kenny and Takeshita, and then Ospreay and Fletcher. Not to mention you had
that's a banger of a show.
Yeah, and that was not to mention you had Hangman versus MJF and Swerve versus Ricochet.
Yep, can't argue.
That was really good. Yeah. And I will admit, whoever wrote they also you could also go all in, all out, double or nothing, full gear. But
see, I liked All In a lot. I wouldn't call it the show of the year, but it was a fun show. But yeah, no.
I think they were just saying, like, if you wanted it to be one of those, I'm not going to argue with you. But Revolution being the top was a good one. Best storyline was Toni versus Mariah May.
As it should have been.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to just line up more when Hangman Swerve was, but I feel like that was more 2 years ago than last year.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. The majority of that feud was 2 years ago.
Yeah. And I think they mentioned, like, you could have put Hangman's Redemption in there, but
yeah, no, Toni Mariah was the right choice.
Yeah. And then best promo artist, Paul Heyman.
Disagree.
Yeah, like, look, Paul is obviously one of the best on the mic ever, but I don't know, man. Like, this past year, I don't know if he's best promo artist this past year.
I don't think he's the best in WWE.
Ooh, who you got there?
All right. Cena was hitting some bangers as a heel.
I guess. I don't know.
I don't even like. I think Punk had no. All right, it was January. The promo Punk hit on Braun Breaker was fucking awesome.
Also, you bald fraud was great.
Yeah, that was really good. I will go on record as saying I think Paul, especially the last several years, has been very, very overrated. Like, I think Don Callis is a better Paul Heyman than Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I honestly think best promo artist, if we're going non-wrestler division, I'm taking Don right now.
Yeah, I'd absolutely take Don over Paul.
Because he's so fucking funny, but when he's got to deliver something straight, he's good at it.
The main thing with Paul is he's fallen in the trap of, I know what the crowd wants to hear, so I'm going to work it into every promo. So I'm hearing him say the same shit over and over, as opposed to Don, who says something different and ridiculous every time he's on the mic.
And he's phenomenal on commentary.
Exactly. So I 1,000% I'll pick Don over Paul every time.
Yeah. Real quick to the comments. It's saying I haven't heard a thing about Mariah Mason.
We're all worried about her. We're all worried about her. It seems Toni's promo was spot on. She would live a life of mediocrity. We haven't heard from her. We haven't seen her.
I mean, I did see her when she got the wind knocked out of her by Thea Hall and lost her championship, even though she wasn't supposed to.
Sir, that was not Mariah May.
That was Blake Monroe.
That was Blake Monroe. We haven't seen Mariah May since she left.
Touche. All right, let's wrap things up here. We got a couple things left. We had the Brody King package, as we talked about, very good. And then we went to the last match we have to cover, which was Timeless Toni Storm against Marina Shafir. And Shafir actually ended up dominating most of this match. I think it had a commercial break.
Yeah,
and we had
one.
Yep. Yeah. And when we came back, Marina was still dominating, but eventually Toni was able to get a little bit of offense and get Marina into the corner for the hip attack. So Toni goes for that. However, Marina comes rushing out, and it's a massive kick, sending Toni to the floor. But as Marina goes to pick her up, Toni hits an up kick and then gets to her feet and delivers a nasty headbutt. Toni then goes for the big package, but as referee Paul Turner is about to count to 3, Wheeler Yuta, who was at ringside along with Daniel Garcia and Luthor for Toni, Wheeler pulls Turner out of the ring, and the ref is forced to call for the disqualification. So after that happens, Toni's looking at him like, what the hell? And she turns around and gets absolutely sucker punched by Marina and just goes down like a sack of potatoes. And that leads to Mina Shirakawa coming out, and she tries to go and help Toni, and instead she gets a kick from Marina for her troubles.
Mina has been getting buoyed for months now. It's getting tiring.
Yeah, especially by Shafir, which is the whole impetus of this rivalry with Toni.
Yeah.
But after that, Luthor then tried to climb into the ring and is stopped by Shafir. And he starts freaking out because Yuta and Garcia are slowly beginning to surround the ring and get up on the apron.
The only time anyone's ever been afraid of Wheeler Yuta.
Because it's Luthor. And however, Roderick Strong just comes out of nowhere because he beat Orange's music to the ring. And he also beat Orange, who also came down. But you know him. He sauntered his way down. And they made the save. And as the Death Riders are seemingly about to retreat, Claudio comes up from out of the stands. And he is heated.
Oh, shirt off.
He rips his shirt off. He's ready to go. So Roddy fucking tarps off, boys, and they're both ready to go. And I'm assuming this has to do with Roddy and Roddy beating him at the end of the C2 to keep Claudio from making the semis. But Wheeler and Marina and Garcia calm him down, and he realizes this isn't the time or place, and they retreat.
Did you see Marina spit on Roderick again?
Oh, no, but
he spit her gum at him. And like,
they have to be having so much fun.
Oh, my God. They are, they are something.
We then get a shot after the Death Riders leave of Orange Cassidy with his arm around Toni, basically holding her up. And then he helps Mina up, and he puts his arm around her, and he's just sitting there like this with the two of them.
Kind of like
Toni was like kind of there for it, and she was like thanking him, and Mina's just like, wait, am I supposed to like this guy? Like, is he trying to see my girl? Is he trying to
in the back?
Yeah, is he trying to like get on both of ours? Like, what's going on here? And Orange just like, I'm just kind of here to help.
Yeah. Meanwhile, let's also acknowledge, out of kayfabe, Toni is 100% married to Juice Robinson.
Yep.
So just chaos in the love department,
which has been mentioned, by the way, by FDR recently.
Absolutely. It makes no sense in the best way possible.
I mean, you know, whatever you want to do in your relationship.
All the while, all of that still feels healthier than Roderick and Marina.
In kayfabe, yes. Out of kayfabe, like I said, they're probably having a lot of fun.
Yeah, no,
they're probably going home and
chopping it up.
Yeah. You know what's saying? I wonder when Toni, Mina, and Orange are going to have a three-way match. That is. Yep. But yeah, as for this match, look, it never really got going. You know, it was mostly just Marina dominating. But I don't mind the DQ finish here because the way this feud has been going, I was like, they're going to put these two women in a match that isn't a stipulation match.
It's not even so. The big thing is, I don't even necessarily care about the stipulation aspect. This was their first singles match.
Right.
Every other match that they've had together has either been a tag team match where Marina was teaming with Megan Bayne, who we haven't seen for a while, by the way.
No, she was on Collision.
Oh, was she? All right, fair
enough.
enough.
Yeah, Marina and Bayne had a match against I don't remember who, but they were high up.
No,
I low on the totem pole.
Yeah, I stand corrected. But it's either been tag team matches against Toni with Bayne and Mina, or it's been multi-person intergender matches. This was their first one-on-one match.
Also, real quick, obviously all this stemming back to Blood and Guts.
Yeah, no. So I expected, I was surprised that they were just dumping this on Dynamite, considering how long this had been going on for already. And then I guess pleasantly surprised with the DQ finish, because on one hand, that means the feud's going to continue and it's going to get bigger between the two of them. But on the other hand, it's like, well, they probably just didn't need to book this match in the first place. But it's telling a story, so I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it as long as it's telling a story. And I think the big thing is, and we've talked about it a couple of times here, the comments have acknowledged it, Marina is really growing a lot. Her promos are incredible now. She is
in both languages.
Yeah, she has become a grade A shit talker. So, got to give her credit for that. And her matches, she's wrestling with a confidence she did not have before the Death Riders. She just didn't have it. You could tell she was not sure what she was doing in the ring. Not that she wasn't capable of doing what she was doing. She just, as a performer, wasn't confident in how to put on a matchup. And now everything is just, she is playing to her strengths fantastically. So, pairing her up with Toni Storm, win, loss, or draw, does not matter. She is absorbing so much from Toni.
Yeah. So, and not to mention how much she absorbed from Moxley and Claudio,
exactly.
And even Garcia and Wheeler.
Marina went to Moxley before the Death Riders. Legit, not kayfabe. She went to Mox well before the Death Riders and was like, "I'm trying to improve. What can I do?" He got back to her like a week or two later, watched some of her tapes, and was like, "This is what we got to work on. If you want to work on it, we will work on it." And he has been such a huge factor in her growth as well.
Yeah.
So I am all for how this has been. This feud specifically is doing wonders for her, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Because not only is she not doing things, in the background and learning, she's taking what she's learned and applying it with a wrestler who is great in the ring and can help her learn to do things in front of a crowd now. So, it's been a great learning experience for Marina, but I also just think this feud is really good. Maria saying it should be a pay-per-view match, and I do think this will build to one.
I think so too. You know what? No, I don't know. If we're not getting a pay-per-view till March, I think it's going to be like a special episode of Dynamite.
But either way, I think it involves some sort of stipulation.
Yeah. At this point, yes. I don't think it needed to. I don't think it ever needed to. I think they could have had a one-on-one match, especially because Marina made such a big point of saying, "Toni, you had to drag me through glass to beat me. You couldn't beat me one-on-one. You couldn't beat me in a straight-up match." So I think the idea of them having a straight-up match would be good, but I think after tonight, you've shown that you need a stipulation.
Yeah, especially because it all, it'll look to everybody that Toni was about to win.
Yeah.
And then Yuta got involved. So Toni can presumably beat Marina in a one-on-one match.
Yep.
Straight up. So I just think the level of violence that this feud started with, it has to probably end with another level of violence near to that.
Yeah.
Mostly just for Toni defending Mina. But honestly, I wouldn't hate if we actually got the one-on-one match and then got the stipulation at a pay-per-view, maybe.
Yeah. It's saying it's been a while since he could remember an interference DQ. Yeah, I can't remember the last one off the top of my head.
I thought it might have actually been with Marina, but she got involved on behalf of Moxley during the Kyle O'Reilly thing.
Yeah.
But actually, no, because Mox got DQ'd
himself.
Because he punched Paul Turner, and then I forgot the second one was a double countout. So
I thought it was just a count out. I don't think it was a double count out.
No, it was double. They were because Kyle had him in the ankle lock on the outside.
Okay.
And Moxley was tapping, but it didn't count.
Fair.
Yeah. And calling her the co-leader of the Death Riders. And it's pretty close. Like, Claudio is the purveyor of violence, as Excalibur calls him, but Marina does kind of seem like Moxley's top lieutenant.
Yeah.
She's
been the right hand since day one.
Yeah, she was always the one who was trusted to carry the title when Moxley didn't have it in his hands himself. And even then, if he was there, she had the title. And she was trusted to carry the key, which she still wears for some reason. But, she's definitely his top lieutenant. But Claudio's the guy you have to go through to, get to
Claudio's the consigliere.
Claudio's Luca Brasi.
Okay. Yeah.
Unless Pac is Luca Brasi. And
because
it's hard to tell. He dies so early.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, considering Pac is always getting hurt, maybe he is sleeping with the fishes. But anyway.
Yeah, our last thing to cover actually does involve Pac, as he was being interviewed backstage by Renee, who asked him about the rematch that Darby Allin wants. And Pac says he is not here to oblige Darby, as he has beaten Darby twice, making him the winner and Darby the loser.
I'm almost okay with that, because I'm done with Darby versus the Death Riders.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Darby wants to be done with the Death Riders, but he needs this win over Pac. And so he comes over and demands the rematch, saying he's fought the Death Riders for over a year. And as I just said, Pac is the only man he hasn't defeated from their group. However, Pac refuses, saying he doesn't pander to the likes of Darby before telling him to jog on, and he starts walking away. Renee follows, trying to get another question, but instead, Darby sprays a fire extinguisher at Pac and then grabs him and throws him into the garage door. He then drags Pac into a doorway and wraps his leg around the frame and threatens to break Pac's ankle in the door if Pac doesn't give him the match. Pac eventually relents and agrees to the match, and right as the Death Riders run up and drive Darby away. So you're getting your match, James. Sorry. But I'm okay with that.
It's fine. Like, I'm not offended, but like it's so unnecessary.
I totally missed my cough button there, didn't I?
Yeah, you're good. You tried.
All right. Anyway, that was Dynamite, and thank God it was, because I'm getting at the end of my voice here. James, following some very, very good episodes of television over the holiday season, this felt like a really good classic episode of Dynamite.
It did. There was a lot. This was a very wrestling heavy show. I think there was only 2 segments. Like, I'm not saying there was some stuff that happened after match, but they all happened in the ring. For the most part, everything was wrestling. We only had the
Bandido and MJF.
No, I'm saying backstage. Like
backstage.
The Callis family bit where they revealed Jake and the Pac Darby thing. Everything else was just wrestling and then the fallout of that wrestling. Yeah. So I thought that was great. I think they needed a very strong episode.
I was going to say just like longer promo-wise, too. What I was going for was the MJF Bandido thing and Willow's celebration. Those were the only real big promos we got.
Yeah. So I think they nailed what they needed to coming out of it. I'm very excited for next week for Maximum Carnage. I think it's going to be a really fun show, and I'm totally biased just because Kenny's coming back. But I think they're getting 2026 started right. And I hope it's been solid. I hope something exciting happens soon. Like a wow kind of moment. I think we're due for one.
2 debuts wasn't wow enough for you tonight.
I mean, I'm never going to wow that hard for Andrade anymore. Those days are over.
I am, just because he's always going to find his way to get himself back into one of the big companies. And I'm just like, wow, he did it again. Good for him. Get your bag.
And I love Jake, but like, he's a member of the Don Callis family. Let's all chill out for a second. But yeah.
No, I thought tonight was great. Like I said, we got the 2 debuts. We got a bunch of really good matches. I mentioned, it felt like an old Dynamite. We even had the women in the time slot of death.
Yep.
Granted, they also had a big segment earlier with Willow, but
yeah.
And granted, it was a DQ match, so I'm not really concerned. I'm not really that concerned about that. And more importantly, we got the Young Bucks back, the proper Young Bucks.
I love somebody said it's the old Young Bucks, and I'm like, I know what you're saying. It's silly. It sounds silly, but yes.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure this is the first episode of Dynamite of the new year because the last one was on December 31st proper.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think we started strong.
Yeah. I'm very, very, very excited for 2026 for AEW.
Me too. Real quick to end the comments here, saying Game of Thrones style, Marina's going to take the Iron Throne after Mox turns full face.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
I watched like the last season because I was living with somebody who was watching it and I had a HBO login. I knew everything that happened. It was funny. I had a bunch of people over my house for the Red Wedding, and I was told what was going to happen. And I watched everyone melt down while I was crying laughing.
Do you know what it's like to have your favorite character killed in the 3rd season of an 8-season show? You just got to you're just riding it out at that point.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yes, you know it. The last season was the worst.
Yeah, we all knew that, which is why I've never gone back and bothered to watch the whole thing.
It's the How I Met Your Mother of drama.
Yeah, and even then, that last season, it's still funny, but
the last season's fine. It's just the finale is awful.
Yeah,
the finale is just bad. Unlike Stranger Things, you crazy people, get over it. Jesus. Let's talk about what we have to look forward to coming up.
Sure.
This is your line. I'm taking over. Next week, January 15th, is the debut of TNA on AMC. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to treat it like a big deal here at the pod. We're doing a giveaway. We're going to announce it tomorrow on social media. So be ready. I'm hoping I could finagle some of the guys to join me for Gym Pack next Thursday. No promises, but I will go hard. I'll be doing Gym Pack tomorrow too, but next Thursday, come join the fun. It's going to be a big, big episode of Impact. We have the Royal Rumble this month, not this year.
Once again, not on my birthday.
Thank God. Thank God. We have the Royal Rumble this year. We have, I said year again. This month we have TNA on AMC. Do we have any other big things?
Wrestling show wise?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're not doing Hog until February. So yeah, just get ready. Next week's going to be big. 2 weeks after, going to be big for WWE.
You know what? I'm with you. All right. On that note, thank you so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. We appreciate it if you like and subscribe. If you like the video, it lets us know that you're enjoying what we're doing here on the show. And if you can subscribe, you can get all the great things on the pod, including everything James just mentioned. Along, Gym Pack. We'll be back here on Wednesdays for Dynamite. We're covering a little more Monday Night Raw. And Producer Boy and Danny have started a new studio show that's been coming out. I know they're taping on Sunday, so I guess it's been coming out on Mondays. So keep an eye out for that if you want to see them talk about more broad topics and some hypothetical stuff and things like that. They've been doing a good job over there. Give them a view.
They're Market Down Hollywood. We're Market Down Wolfpack.
I'll take it. Be sure to check those guys out. They're doing a good job. Shout out to them for stepping up and doing that. And like I said, we'll be back here next week for Dynamite. If you want to check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Blue Sky, links are all in the description below here on YouTube. If you're watching us over on Facebook or on Twitter, you want to check us out at some other places. Twitter is at marketdown_pod. Instagram is at marketdownpod. YouTube.com/marketdown3665. Marketdownpod.bsky.social over on Blue Sky. Just search Marketdown Podcast on any of your things, and you will find them. And be sure to do so because, as James mentioned, we are going to be setting up that giveaway starting tomorrow for TNA's debut on AMC next week. So be sure to follow us and check us out in certain places. I'm back on the Blue Sky. I was tweeting the show tonight. So
we need somebody to be running our Twitter again. Danny hasn't been doing Twitter in a while.
I am not going on that porn site if you paid me. And check out the Instagram. Matt does good work over there. And we're also getting some good clips from Danny and Eric's show as well. So you can go check that out and getting a nice little variety. James, did you have anything else before we get out of here?
Keep your eyes open for that giveaway tomorrow.
All right, cool. So for James Asante, my name is Nick Cummings. Thank you so much for watching us here at the Market Down Podcast. I hope everyone enjoyed their holidays. We're looking forward to a good 2026 with all y'all for the rest of the year. Have a good one, everyone.